Okay, we're live.
Yay. Woo.
Hi, Carla. This is Amrita from Imagination Miscellany.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm I'm doing pretty well. Let's see, enjoying Vancouver. I'm finally getting that much needed time to improve on my own writing and yeah.
Good to hear. So you collaborated with Kay and
Yeah.
Christina for Imagination Miscellany.
hmm
So how did you feel you positively benefited from the collaboration?
Um, the way it's funny because the way our Kay and I's collaboration worked is that I just sent her my poems and she just figured I think this picture would be a good fit, this photo would be a good fit for this poem, da
Mhm.
da da. And because my poems that I wrote about, because I the poems that I wrote about were like different Canadian landscapes. It was actually also a collaboration with Christina, so she was also playing the piano. So that was another process altogether. But with Kay, we just kind of communicated, and she just um had these had photos of places that were not related to what I was writing about, but basically had the same sentiment. So that's how we basically well, that was basically the process, and
Mhm.
uh, this photo, I think this photo was cool. This photo is great. Like, there wasn't we didn't really have I guess too much conflict. It was a very easy collaboration for us.
How do
Yeah.
you think you both mutually benefited from the collaboration?
Um, I think for me, because I think of poetry as like, it's like a whole sensory experience, right? It's not enough that you can read it. It's one experience. You listen to it, it's another experience. You say it out loud, that's another thing. And I think that having those photographs just adds another
Mhm.
layer to something that's already kind of really dense with complex language and imagery. So I think it just helped. Like it for me, it was fun seeing
Mhm.
somebody else's interpretation or
Mhm.
how they connected to my work. Like I didn't like one thing that I didn't want to do when we were collaborating was kind of dictating um what she was gonna what photo, like, I didn't want to like I don't know what word to use, but like I didn't want to just kind of like go over her and kind of oh, I don't think that picture is right.
Yeah.
I think that photo is ugly. Okay, he's a great photographer. I would never say that. But I wanted to leave her part of the process up to her because that's her thing, and that's her art. So I don't know if that made sense.
No, that made perfect sense. What about with Christina? I think you collaborated with Kay and Christina. So, what about in terms of the same question?
Yeah.
How um, it positively benefited the two of you? I think you talked about Kay, but what in regards to Christina?
hmm And so Christina and I actually, I went over to her place because, and then our process was I would read the poems out to her, and she would just kind of like start getting these feelings.
Hmm.
So I think for her, like, the process was like, I don't want to speak for her, but like to me it seemed like the process was more intuitive, and she just kind of went with how she responded to the pieces.
Hmm.
And I thought that was also good. Again, it's like, it's another way of interpreting, um, a piece of, I don't want to be pretentious and say it's literature, but it's my, those are, those are my observations of the world. Um, and I think it's always good for artists anyway to to have these cross or interdisciplinary collaborations. I think it just helps us see our art in a different way. It just I don't know. I think there's something that you could learn from these different disciplines. Like I think for like going back to Kay, I think like one thing that I kind of thought about like photography is like just really having that lens and just really zooming in on that one thing and like capturing that moment. In poetry, I think I was earlier I was sitting in a guest lecture by Tony Hoagland, and he said that poetry is like all about capturing moments, and I think all art strives to be like that. Like we strive to capture these moments, and it's an archive of the human condition. To be so grandiose about it.
Yeah. That's good. No. Well, thank you so much. I think for talking about your collaboration experience.
Yay, thank you.
And I think we'll share it with the Imagination Miscellany community, and hopefully more collaborations in the future. So thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you, Amrita. And if you have any more questions, of course, we can always try Google Hangout.
Oh yeah, exactly. Okay.
All right. Thanks so much.
You're welcome. Have a nice evening.
Yeah, you too. Bye.
Bye.